Welcome back to part 2 of this playroom makeover, where I'm turning this dining room, or formal dining room, into a playroom and workspace for our 3 little girls. To catch you up to speed, part 1 is linked down below, where I turned this IKEA storage unit into a desk, and here is where we left off. In today's video, I'm taking on the other half of the room, building some storage in, and setting everything up for the reveal. I spent some time waiting for things to come in, so in the meanwhile I decided to focus on this mini kitchen that we've had for the last several years. The girls have gotten a lot of great use out of it, but I wanted to customize it just a bit for this new space. As always, talked to the girls before switching things up on them. They were very excited and they had a lot of input in the final colors. As you can see, I already took a few things apart and I am measuring twice so I can cut once for the new top that I'm putting in. So I've spent some money in other places in the room. So now I'm trying to do this mini flip of the kitchen without spending any money. I brought this over from our old house. This is what we made that desk out of in the dining area. I'm gonna try and use this for the flip, and then I've got some leftover paint from other projects, and I'm hoping to be able to do it all with just what we've got at the house. First step here was marking out all of those measurements we took inside, and we don't have a table, so also an easy solution for that is using another board as a guide. So you'll see me clamping down a board here in a bit so that I can get a straight cut on these measurements. And I will admit I did not get this cut perfect, but I ended up being able to use a little bit of extra trim that I found in the garage to kind of make it work out. Instead of doing math, I figured it would just be easier to take the board inside and mark where the sink cutout is going to be. Of course, I made that cut just a little bit too deep, which is where I ended up needing to trim it out later. Overall, I think it looks really good up top there. I like the light wood. It'll tie in with the other elements that are going to be in the room later on. The next thing I wanted to do was get rid of the cool gray on the doors and the shelves, and I went over that with Accessible Beige by Sherwin-Williams, which I used in our little mud room area and in my office, so we had some leftover paint for that. And for the hardware, Emmy requested gold, so I just took some spray paint to the gold faucet and the gold knobs that were on the oven part. Not bad for $0, and I will add some shelving in later to finish off the little kitchen area. But first up, I have some curtain rods that came in that also go along with the gold in the little kitchen area and will finally make this room feel like it belongs in our house. I'm using the curtains that I use in most of the rooms downstairs, and these are those IKEA super affordable curtains. I will link them down below. And these gold rods are also the same ones that I used up in our nursery. So it just matches with the rest of the house and kind of gives it the feel that it belongs here. This is the day I've been waiting for. I am beyond excited, and I'm pretty sure that I just magically made this wallpaper here. The moment that I sat down at my desk to check on the shipping of the wallpaper, the FedEx man dropped this off at our door. I am so stoked for this. This is from a new wall decor. It's one of their murals, and I've used several of them in our homes before, but this time I actually went with the pre-pasted wallpaper, which is a more permanent solution. They have really great vinyl options, peel and stick vinyl options, which is what I normally do, but this is supposedly the easiest to apply. I will, thank you. Okay, we're gonna take a little peek at this before we move everything out of the room, because I have to see a little bit. Ooh, that is pretty. It looks like it was drawn on. I love that. That is cool. The girls are gonna be very excited about this one. If you remember the last playroom I did, I also had a wallpaper in that room from the same company. So it's a very similar print, but it's different. It has a lot more color in it, I would say. One of my favorite parts of the old house. So this is my little homage to the old playroom for the girls. I want to get that as close to the corner as possible because I want this to start and run on a level line so that when we get to the end, it's not messed up. It suggests laying all the panels out first just to make sure everything is correct before hanging on the wall. And seeing that this is more of a permanent wallpaper, I'm going to follow those directions. So yes, this was my first time ever applying a permanent wallpaper, so a little bit nervous. This was pre-pasted, so like it sounds, it comes with a glue on the back that is activated by water. So all you have to do is roll water onto that and then use a method called bookending, where you fold the ends of the wallpaper in like you can see here, and you have to wait 10 minutes for that glue to kind of get a little sticky. And after that is done, you will just apply that to the wall. And then, like I said, I want to get this first one really level on the wall so that as I go along, I know everything is as perfect as it can be. I've done many wallpapers in the past. They've all just been peel and stick vinyl. The nice thing about the pre-pasted is that it's a little bit easier to apply because you can kind of slip and slide it around on the wall, which makes it a lot easier to line up than the vinyl I found. It still was a little bit tricky to work out all of the air bubbles. That's really where the hard part of this is, but definitely something that you could do on your own. One of the things that I did during the 10-minute wait on each of these panels was also roll some water onto the wall. I didn't want it to be too dry, and I think that that helped a little bit in the end as well. The other difference between this and the vinyl is that this has a little bit more of a matte finish on it, and I think that that's really pretty. Look at this. Left with this beautiful wall and trying to figure out how to lay out and decorate this area. I've got the bookcase that I built for this wall. Britton's laughing at me because I'm talking to myself. I've got the house bookshelf, so I'm gonna bring that over here and try to figure out where that is gonna go first, since that's my biggest item. But I also have the kitchen that I flipped, and I want to build a little bit more onto that kitchen. So I was talking to Emerson about different places she wants the kitchen, and she kind of wants it over here to be baby doll area, like making them food, play food area / baby doll area. For whatever reason, I could not make a decision on how I wanted things arranged on this side of the room. Even asked for help. Do we like this here or here? Or here. Because I was waiting on a few more things to come in, I had time to figure that out later, and I decided to just keep moving along with the things that I knew I needed to do, which was assembling this IKEA storage furniture. And here's the true behind the scenes of making a TikTok of doing that. If you're looking for more DIYs, home decor, cleaning and organizing, that's what you'll see over on my TikTok. And here you will see me realize that I put something on upside down, so I had to redo that. As things started arriving, I could see this room come together in my head a little bit better. How cute is this little rug from H&M? I ordered it before I knew where it was going in here, but I knew that it had to go in here because we have some unicorn obsessed girls. And for the main rug in the room, I found one on Amazon. I just wanted something really neutral here to not draw too much attention away from the wallpaper itself. And then needed some cozy seating. Again, something neutral, but wanted a little bit of texture in the room.
I also wanted something a lot smaller so it didn't feel like the walkway into the room was being blocked by this chair. So I found something that is kind of like a kid size, but an adult can definitely still fit in here. So as the girls are playing, I've got somewhere to sit, or anyone in here that's visiting. This was another really good Amazon find. I feel like 2 of these next to each other would be really cute, but I didn't want to take away too much play space in the room. I said this in part 1 of the playroom makeover, but I'm pretty sure playrooms are my favorite rooms to work on because everything that you put into them is adorable and miniature, from the toys to the dollhouses to the food in the little play kitchens. These are 2 little bunny chairs that I found that I originally got for the girls, but they are a little bit smaller than I was thinking. In the end, we left them because they loved using them with their dolls. So they'll be over in the doll area, as well as this little bunk bed that I got the girls for Christmas. It actually came in a triple bunk, but I took one of the beds and left it upstairs for them to play with. And then I'm painting these 2 to match the kitchen area that will be in this room. To finish off the kitchen, I'm adding these shelves that we brought over from our last house. I can't remember where they were, but they've been chilling in the bathroom here. I thought these would be perfect so the girls can put their food on here. They've got little kitchen accessories.
Finally in the home stretch here. I have spent hours looking at this room trying to figure out how I want to lay it out. I think it finally clicked with the thought that, like, we don't want to cover this wall. So I've shifted everything this way, and I realized that we needed an extra piece for the end here to make it symmetrical, or else it will bother me. So I just picked this up and assembled this extra storage unit. You can't ever have too much storage. It also kind of functions as a little bench for under the window over on this side. I think it looks really cool. Now it's like the city continues this way.
Organizing all these toys, setting them up, sometimes laying out little scenes just to prompt the girls is honestly my favorite thing that I get to do for them. I also like to do a toy rotation, so what I'm putting over on the right side of this unit are all the things that they play with almost every single week. A lot of them they combine together, so that's what I'm leaving over here. The things that you see on the shelf that are set out are probably what I'll be rotating out. Everything in the left side unit is all of the doll stuff, so just doll clothes, doll shoes, and dolls. So that will probably stay there in the doll side, and then I will rotate some of the bins on the right as well as some of the things on the shelf. I do not go by any straight method. This is what works for us, and I know that a lot of toys can definitely be overwhelming for kids, but I found that this is really good for our girls, and they have played so well in here together. It is so fun to watch and play along with them. It is finally time to show off all the hard work and where we are now. Remember the house back when we bought it before we changed out the floors? And here is the finished playroom. This was so much fun to work on for Emmy, Charlie, and Britton, and they are so thankful to have this space. They take really good care of it, and I am excited to see all the fun times that come in here. If you guys have a favorite part, leave me a comment down below and let me know what it was. It actually just now occurred to me that I did not film and I did not show you the building of that house shelf. I built it with some supplies from Lowe's and then attached it to this side IKEA Trofast units. I know I was showing it in stories over on Instagram, but complete YouTube fail, sorry about that. Anything else that you're looking for, leave me a comment down below, but it's usually linked in the description box. And feel free to check out TikTok. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, happy DIYing.